The summer exhibition at the Houston Center for Contemporary Craft pays tribute to a familiar household item in Made to Last, the legacy of the Jubilee Quilt Circle.
This show was inspired by the Jubilee Quilt Circle, which is part of the Community Artists Collective located on 4101 San Jacinto Street. They're a collective that's been around for about 35 years, and they've supported so many local artists, but their quilt circle in particular has been the birthplace of so many beautiful works of art and many artists who are just very well connected and a perfect example of how art and community intersect. So the Jubilee Quilt Circle wasn't formalized till maybe about 20 years ago, and even in saying that formal, it's not the most formal organization. It really just is a group of people who get together and like to make quilts. So it's always been in existence, as quilting has always been a central part of craft when we talk about, the South and African American craft traditions. So it's hard to say when it started, but it's been around for roughly 20 years.
So these aren't just for keeping people warm.
These are all that and then some. Some of these quilts actually have been used for that purpose. Some of them, you can see that they've been pre-loved, they've been used on beds, but most of these were made to be fiber art. So some of these, like those made by Michelle Swain Barnes, were created for her children, so they were used by her children as they were growing up. And then there are also some that are using bedspreads and bed sheets from childhood, such as Nana Pam, which is by Sean Casey. And then there are also some, such as the Underground Railroad coloring book by Hassel-Dean Murray, that were specifically made as art pieces that could be used for storytelling and really made to just be hung and shown to the public. Quilting in particular is very established in terms of what patterns or quilt blocks are more widely recognized and practiced. So there are some that are made like we have the double wedding ring style, such as Alta's Wedding Ring by Hassel-Dean Murray, that's more traditional. And then we have some that are just a little bit more out there, using like t-shirts and different scraps of fabric. So some follow the established quilting block traditions, while others just, it's all about the improvisation. I think it's important to note that a lot of these quilts were sewn by hand, while some were also sewn by others and finished by other members. And then some were quilted using, just your basic tabletop sewing machines, and others were using large quilting machines, such as the one at Community Artists Collective for the Quilt Circle. And those big quilting machines can be, maybe $50,000, $60,000. So it really just shows the variation and how these quilts really are an example of contemporary craft.
For Artbeat, this is Randall Williams.